talking about a topic, Lovely Bone, which is a novel written by Aislinn Saboom. The book is about a 14-year-old girl who was abducted and raped by her neighbors in the Sudan areas in Pennsylvania. Her name was Susie. She tells her story from the afterlife. Even though she goes back and forth during her story, remembering her life, and she is looking at everyone she's left behind and looking very closely at the killer's mind. The story takes place in 1970, which was the time was known as an era of loss of incidents in America. Around this time, parents worried more about letting their children walk from home from school or leaving them home alone, because a lot of kids was getting abducted. Aislinn is an influential American author who made an impact on international literature through her first novel, Lovely Bones. So let's talk more about the author and where she's from. Author, which was Aislinn, was born in Madison, Wisconsin on September 6, 1963. She grew up in a dysfunctional home, yet to two academic parents. Her mother was an alcoholic who experienced panic attacks and anxiety. Her father was a Spanish professor. They later relocated to Pennsylvania, where she decided to leave her family and go to Syracuse University in upstate New York. During her first year in Syracuse University, she was brutally raped and attacked in a tunnel. Susan, a 14-year-old girl who was abducted and raped by her neighbor in Sudan area in Pennsylvania, is some way for her to tell her how she felt and how she went through it as well. In the novel, there's many themes. Some of the themes are mortality and violence. The main character, Susie, says that the way we die and the needs and desires and qualities we possess at the time of death impacts our experience in the afterworld. This book, in 2017, became more famous than they ever thought. The book shot up to the top list, and important sales director Chris Barbera stated that she knew the book was going to be a success by reading only the 15 to 20 pages of the book. The chain fiction buyer, Hennessy, placed an order of more than 10,000 copies instead of 3,000 or 5,000, which is the typical number of the copy for that program. The novel went from 50,000 to 500,000 copies in a couple of weeks. The Bone was the #1 on the New York Times list 6 times. Let me just end this by saying rarely any author can become an international author, especially speaking about a subject of rape or violence. The book was an international bestseller with over 45 different languages, translations, and 5 million copies sold only here in America.